All right, we got something really special today. One of Australia's most iconic vehicles, the Troopy. Scotty's made this one in an absolute touring beast. I cannot wait to show you through this one. This one will inspire you to no end. Alright, today we're doing something we know you will love, a full rig rundown of this magnificent car behind me. This is Scotty's Land Cruiser Troopy. Now, he has built this to tour off-grid around Australia. We're going to find out what it's all about, how he's built it, why he's built it, what's inside it, and hopefully you'll get a few ideas that might inspire you to build your own. So let's go and meet Scotty. Let's just start off by saying this is probably the fanciest rig rundown we've ever done. We've got a couple of espresso martinis because it is way after 11 o'clock. All right, we're here with Scotty. Mate, thank you for doing this. Give us a quick overview of this beast.
So it's a 2017 Land Cruiser Troopy. Bought it 3 years ago and then started kitting it out to be my touring rig. Always had the plans of doing the rooftop conversion, which is why I went down the route of getting the Troopy and built it up to be this, pretty much.
All right, well, let's get up the front and start with the bar work.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're up front, mate. Let's have a look at what have we starting with here. What's on the front?
So we got the ARB bull bar and side steps for a bit of protection. There's a 12,000 pound winch to get us out of sticky situations.
Yeah.
Aerials, rod holders for when we're fishing up at Fraser.
Big GME whip on it, yes.
Yep. Not too tall. And then the Ultravision light bar, 30 inch.
Now, I've known you for a few years, mate, and I do know there's a story behind that number plate.
I was talking to a mate that was in WA at the time and we'd had way too many beers. And I hadn't actually bought the car yet. So I didn't have a Troopy, but I was planning on buying one. And then my dog at the time was named Barney. And we were talking over the phone. I was like, oh, I found this number plate. He's like, if you don't buy that right now, it won't be available. So I ended up picking it up that night, completely forgot about it. And then, yeah, a couple of weeks later, it rocks up at the door.
Oh,
PPQ.
The best going by a Troopy. Moving around to the front, let's talk about the wheels and tyres. And I know you've got some tasty suspension under there too.
Yeah, so it starts with the Toyo Open Countries, just 33s, nothing too big. So
all terrains.
Keeps it nice and quiet on the highway for the longer drives, but still.
And they're the factory wheels.
Yep, factory GXL wheels. And then suspension, we've got the King's Remote Res, and they're unbelievable, and parabolic springs at the back.
You do have the parabolics. I'd actually forgotten that. How do they ride?
Amazing. Yeah.
Do they?
Really well.
Yeah.
And the amount I can load it up, and it really doesn't affect the drop at all.
Doesn't
it doesn't load up too bad.
So what do they rate it to?
They're 600 to 700 kilos.
Are they really?
They can go up, yeah. From the manufacturers, they reckon I can put an extra 200 to 300 kilos onto it.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't drop more than 5 mil.
That's so good. And so the ride, is it wallowy or is it planted when you're driving?
No, it holds on.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah. And because these ones come with the sway bars, the Troopy's got the sway bars at the back, which
I noticed that under your diff. Yeah.
But yeah, the King's Remote Res shocks, they're amazing.
You rate them?
The ride is unbelievable. I got them rebuilt maybe a year ago.
Did you?
New seals and stems, and I think that's one of the great things about them is you can take them into the shops a few $100 and you can pretty much have a brand new set of suspension.
So you can just keep renewing them?
Keep rebuilding them. As long as the canisters are still sweet, they'll just replace the parts that are broken. And
so it's worth it in the long run. Like, they are expensive, but they're probably good value too.
Hopefully.
All right, let's keep going. Oh, he's got the fancy shocks in it that work. I'm still feeling very posh drinking a espresso martini while we're doing a rig rundown, but it's very tasty. That first thing I can see is the big airbox over there. That's different.
Yep, it's got a Just Autos tune in it. The Fats Customs airbox and the oil filter in there.
And that big intake pipe there too.
Yeah. So the bigger intake pipes, which pretty much lead into one day if we do a turbo upgrade, it'll just be a power pipe down to the turbo and we can go from there.
Nice.
Other than that, yeah, it's just a Just Autos tune and try and keep it as factory as possible for reliability stakes.
Like we were both saying yesterday on the way down here that we're down in Yamba at the minute, going up the highway, like going up the hills and cruise control and fifth, like they just don't labour anymore. It's just, you just don't notice it, do you? Like,
you don't
it's just power everywhere.
Yeah.
It does make them a lot more drivable, I think, having a tune. Yeah. It's a lot nicer to, just around the city too, you're not hunting for gears all the time.
As I was saying to you, had the car for about a week before I booked the tune in because they need them. They need a little tickle up to make them a bit more drivable. But
and the other thing into here, you've got the nice cruiser store bonnet struts. Yeah. So they make opening and closing a bit easier. Yeah. So that's about it under the engine.
Yep.
Under the hood, I mean.
Yeah, other than that, it's just all the extra electrical stuff for the 12 volt gear.
All right, cool. Let's keep going. All right, so moving around to the business end, what do we got here?
So it's a 270 awning because as we live mostly out of the back of it where the kitchen is, we needed something that wrapped around the back and then a bit of sitting area out the side. So if we whip out the extra table, we can have it out here.
So you would normally put a table here?
Yeah, an extra table out here just so you can have the mats and kind of an organising area and then cook over the back. This is my dog. And then it's also handy when you need to get to the drinks fridge.
Oh, because you've got it just in there.
Which is just in here. Yeah, you're still undercover. Even if it's raining, you can still get a beer out.
Did I notice last night these are lights too?
Yeah, lights built into those, which is handy.
That is handy. I agree. And then that's got Velcro on it too. You can obviously put walls out if you need to as well.
Yeah, if you want to make it a bit bigger.
All right, so into the fun stuff. We're finally here. I've been looking forward to this bit. When you bought this, what did it have in it and what have you done to it?
So it did just have the drawer set, but when I first bought it, I found out after our first trip, the whole thing was floating. Nothing was actually touching the ground or secured at all. So we're going down Fraser Island, went over, a bit of a sand bump at a little bit of speed and felt the whole whole drawer system jumping up around. So then after that, I ripped the whole drawer system out and then put a false floor in it, secured it to the ground, screwed it all down so it's actually attached.
How could you make it not screw it down?
It was just floating. The whole thing was just floating. And then the fridges, it had this fridge, it didn't have the 40.
Right.
And then the electrical system was pretty basic.
So what have you put in it electrically wise?
Everything now. So I ripped the whole lot out. They had a little inverter and the plug up the front. Now I've got a custom lithium 200 amp hour and that's charged by the solar. We've got a 440 watt panel on the roof, which takes up most of the roof. And then 150 MPPT charger, so the Victron unit. And then from the battery, we've got two 50 amp Enerdrive chargers that link in series, and then you can get 100 amps.
So you're charging fast.
We can charge fast.
So if you're driving down the highway and the sun's out, what are you pumping into the battery?
So I can get 150 amps into it when I go well.
So you can charge your battery from flat to full in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's crazy good.
So that's when obviously you need the perfect conditions for that to happen. But even if I just put the car on idle, I can get 80 plus amps into it.
Wow.
And then if the solar's working at all. And that was the idea because I was looking at getting a bigger battery, but enough charging.
You don't need it.
Didn't need it.
No.
It was idle it for half an hour, spend $3 on diesel, and
that's
a bit cheaper than getting a 400 amp lithium in there. So.
and a lot less weight too.
A lot less weight, yeah. One charger and a bit of cable, so.
Definitely. So you could drawer system in, so then you thought, where am I going to sleep?
Where am I going to sleep? So then I thought I'd just chop the roof off it. So I booked in the Mulgo rooftop conversion before I even bought the car. It was always a plan.
So you bought the number plates and the rooftop conversion before you had a car?
Yeah, and I told the guys asked for the colour and I couldn't tell them. So it's like, what colour do we need to paint it? I'm like, I haven't got the car yet, I don't know. I was still yet to decide, so booked it in. I knew what I wanted, and I was looking between utes and Troopies, and pretty much the roof conversion sold it.
Yeah.
I had a mate that had a similar conversion.
Right.
And then, once I got in it once, I was like, this is what I want.
I agree. I think that I actually didn't, before I got my car, I really didn't look at Troopies too much, and after seeing yours and Johnny's, I'm like, oh, these are absolute weapons. I rate them completely.
And then I like the Mulgo conversion because it doesn't have any external latches, so the latches are all internal.
So it's safer.
It's safer, yeah. It's safer and looks better, I think.
Yeah.
It's nice not to have the stainless hardware on the outside.
It's cleaner, definitely, yeah.
But yeah, people do say you can break into them if you just cut those latches off. You can open up the roof and jump in the car, so it's like, it's another safety aspect, I guess, having it all latched up from the inside.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's nice not having the big hinge at the front or any latches at the back, like it's all just...
And so when you're inside it, it's like any other rooftop conversion where you can push the bed up to the roof and you can stand up inside.
So at the moment the roof's up, the bed's up, so when I get out of bed in the morning I can just flick the bed up and then get changed. You can walk around the drawers, and it's full standing height for myself, so I can get ready in the morning. The dog runs around in there and happy days.
Happy days is right. And so your drawers, you got tables and all the stuff in there, and
so
that's your pantry, and you've obviously got more here in the doors. So this one I actually ordered in from New Zealand. It was one of those things, after you see the right one,
It's hard to find anything else. Everything else I looked at, there wasn't quite right. Having the extra storage in here for my spices and all your cleaning gear and your salt and pepper and oil, everything's ready. And then, the Outback Gear Solutions, these pouches are amazing. I was a bit iffy on drilling into the doors at the start. I was like, oh, do we really need to do that? But everything's available. Like, I've got my spatulas and everything, your tongs,
Just there.
your washing up gear, bin bags, sunscreen and all your water fittings, everything's available and it's right there. Everything's got its place and
Love
it's
it.
Perfect.
Love
Having
it.
a bit of organisation goes a long way.
Yeah, it's built for purpose. Like everything you've done, is, as much as it looks good, it's all obviously built for a purpose. I watched you making the cocktails early. Everything's just where it should be. You got your hose coming up from your water tank, which actually, what water tank have you got in this?
So I've got a 50 litre at the back, which is from a mob in the sunny coast, and then another 56 litre Long Ranger, stainless one up the front.
So you got 100 litres of water
So
on
yeah,
board?
there's 100 litres of water, which when I'm just by myself, the 50 litre was fine.
Yeah.
But when I go away with my partner, you need a bit more.
A bit more water.
Yeah.
Definitely.
When
And
it's more than
you
one
can choose
person.
then to just fill up one tank or two. So you
Yeah,
keep the
so I've
weight
got
on
a Y tap in there, so I can change it over.
Yeah, nice.
So you can go one or two, and then you can choose where you want the weight in the car too. So if I'm just by myself, I now use the front one to get the weight out of the back, because this one's behind the rear tank, between the rear tank and the tow bar. So the weight's obviously ages back, so if I can get rid of that and the last tank of fuel, like the secondary tank first, it gets rid of the weight and moves it all forward. So.
Perfect. What size of upright fridge is that then?
So that's an 85 Dometic.
85 Dometic. And it's good on the juice?
The uprights chew.
They do a bit, don't they?
Yeah, I've noticed, because of the chest fridge up the front, I've got a 40 litre Engel at the front, and I can run that for about 2 weeks off the battery and not have to charge it. And this one, I swear it's 4 or 5 days, and it really chews it down.
So mine runs when it's cycling the upright, it's about 5 or 6 amps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the other one pulls about 3 maybe.
Does it, even when it's cycling?
But it doesn't cycle much. I think that's the thing with the uprights, they just cycle a lot more. Obviously they got the freezer in them.
Yeah, they do cycle.
Which I think hurts, but everyone I've talked to that has an upright, it definitely chews the juice a lot quicker. Like,
they do. I mean, I still love them, but yeah, there is a compromise there.
They're handy, and for this setup, it's perfect, because when I was building it, I wanted outside cooking. That was the plan. Like, I just wanted to cook outside. I know a lot of Troopy setups you got to get in, and they've got the sinks and the kitchens. I wanted to cook out the back. I'm like, I don't go camping to cook inside.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
I wanted outside. I love cooking over the fire. So
yeah,
everything was focused around outside cooking. So the upright fridge right at the back here, the drawers, this is an extra table that can come out.
Right.
It's a lot of room for an outside cook.
It is. It's really good.
And the timber's great for putting hot stuff on. When you're ever getting pans off the fire, you can put it on there, you can put it on here, and there's plenty of room around.
Yeah. Mate, you've done well. Done really well. Mate, what a weapon. Now, a couple of final questions for you. What was the first mod you did to this?
First mod would have to be the rooftop. As I said, I ordered it and paid for it before I even bought the car. So
yeah, well, that is a first mod.
I was spending money on it before
you even knew where it was.
Before I knew what I was buying.
What's your favourite mod?
It'd have to be the roof conversion. Getting in there and sleeping at night. I have the best sleeps. Whenever I'm camping, I can stay in there forever. If it's bad weather, you just chill. I can reach down, I can pat the dog. It's easy. Like, it's why I bought the Troopy, and it's great.
That's it is.
Yeah.
And that's why you buy them, isn't it? For that purpose.
Yep.
I agree. Future mods?
Future mods, I want to get a rear bar. I know there's a lot of weight on the back wheel at the moment and the back door. So getting a bit of weight off that, as well as being able to carry a bit more at the back, get the chainsaws and whatnot there, and a few more jerry cans for longer trips. What
would you recommend if they bought a Troopy, the first thing they should do?
Cut the roof off.
Cut the roof off?
Yeah, cut the roof off.
Yeah, the roof. It's the reason you buy them. I couldn't agree more.
Cut the roof off and then tune it so you can actually drive it.
Yeah, good. Good. And we haven't mentioned it yet, but the old Grandpa Spec sun visor, I do love them. I think they're absolutely on point. I think they suit the Troopies perfectly.
They suit it. Keep it old school. Keep it.
Mate, thank you very much for showing us around us. Leave a comment below what you think of Scotty's Troopy. I think it's an absolute weapon. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.